What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and behind me I got my Supra and my 48, which, as you can tell, sort of like jammed in the garage because it was going to be a pretty bad storm yesterday, and I wanted to make sure the toys, I couldn't care less if they were outside or piled up. I wanted to make sure the 488 was inside and safe. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about the right time to buy exotic cars, because I've been talking about that bubble for years. You know, the bubble where prices are going up and people are buying because they're going up, but they don't really know what they're buying. They're just like, oh, yeah, that's going up, I better buy it. It's like the guys that buy gold when it's like, oh, gold just tripled in price. So they're like, shit, let me get some of that gold. But that's the guy left holding the bag. And now is a good time to buy because there's a lot of cars available, and I just saw something saying that does nobody want old used Ferraris anymore, V12 Ferraris. The auction results aren't up there anymore. They're sort of leveling out or coming down, and that's what a bubble is. That is people buying specifically to make money. They're not buying because they want to drive the car, and that's sort of the problem with the cars. So all of those guys that bought cars to make money are now being like, shit, I ain't making no money with this. I could make more money doing something else with my money. Get rid of it. And you're seeing that with the GT3 RS market is a great one, because the RSs were all bought to flip. And when a car is popular and a car is selling over sticker, you should never see them at wholesale. If it's selling over sticker, that means there's more demand than there is supply. And at that point in time, you don't have to go to a wholesaler. You don't have to run it through auction. You just, okay, I'll pick you as the buyer because I've got 5 people that want to buy my in-demand car. And that's not the case. There's a bunch of cars at Mannheim, or just closed at Mannheim, with GT3 RSs. The 2016 GT3 RS, which were selling for over $100,000 over sticker, are now available, are running through auction at probably sticker or right around sticker. And that's because the car is worth $250. It's a solid $250 car. The sticker is a little low on it. And if you look on eBay, a lot of them aren't even selling. So you've got cars that are not selling for $220 when the sticker might be $220, $225, $230. So that's something to keep in mind. And why am I saying, well, why is now the right time to buy a car? Because if a guy bought a car and was like, like me, I'd buy a car, it'd be a cool investment, but I want to drive it. So you have it, you drive it, and so be it. If they're selling their car now in, like, just as you're going in the summer, they've got no desire to have it. They didn't buy it to drive it, they bought it to literally get rid of. Looking at all these GT3 RSs, no miles. Great car, everybody knows it's a great car, but they're selling with whatever it is. You go look at the listings, 120 miles, 250, 400 miles, 300 miles. That's nothing. On a GT3, that's taking it out for 2 days, and you put that sort of miles on it. So, and that's probably a lot of the dealers like just joyriding it in between sales. So that's something to keep in mind. It's a good time to buy. Do I think that there's a drought right now in the Ferrari V12 demand? No. It just, the bubble has to burst eventually. Cars don't just keep going up in value unless they're low mile special cars. You can't just raise an entire platform up and say this entire platform is worth X amount of money now, because people were going out and overpaying, and seriously overpaying, for 40,000 mile cars, 50,000 mile cars, because they had a stick shift in it. And now it's like, why is nobody willing to pay me so much money? That demand has disappeared, and not disappeared completely, but all of these market setting prices, as I've said in previous videos, has died down, has gone away, and there's more than enough now inventory out there to now increase the amount of cars available for sale, because people are jumping ship. They're like, look, I didn't get in this to have a toy. It's great. I told my neighbors I had a Ferrari, or I told them I had a whatever. That is over. So now what are we looking at? We're looking at a good time to buy, because the people selling now are the people that aren't really in it. They just want, they were looking at it as an investment. They want to get in, they want to get out, and now they're going to have to take a little bit of a loss because the auction results aren't there, the market's just died down, and that's something that everyone's coming to terms with. Now, funny story here, because my Supra, yeah, one just went up for sale. I just saw it on Jalopnik today. $125,000 for a 14,000 mile bone stock 98 Supra. So this car, they're selling for $125,000 with the Carfax. So even though it's got 14,000 miles, it's got an accident, which was like, who knows, rear bumper, probably wasn't too significant. But it's interesting. Everybody like tells me my car is worth, it's worth 15 grand, 20 grand. It's all bullshit. There was a video I just saw recently. A guy brought his 1,000 horsepower Supra to CarMax and they put a $15,000 value on it, which means they probably either didn't want to watch it or buy it, or you don't bring your car to CarMax. And I learned that with my Range Rover, they came in fairly low. But this thing, 100 grand, I'd get rid of it, as I've said. And if I don't get rid of it, I keep it. That's what's nice about this thing, because eventually it'll be worth 100 grand. And if you look at it, you're like, look at what R34s are selling for. There are R34 Skylines, which are no more special than this, except that there's fewer of them out there, selling for as much money, or even these like GTTs and like nothing really special Skylines. The Supra is an iconic car. It will always be an iconic car, and you're not going to get low mileage examples like this. And you got people asking big money for the Skylines, and then people saying you're crazy for asking so much money for your Supra. Now, I can't prove anyone right or wrong because I've never actually stepped up and put this thing up for sale, but it will eventually. I think the video of me stepping you through what it's like to run a car through BarrettJackson or any of the auctions would be an interesting one. I've never gone through the process. It scares me a little bit because there is like a 10% buyer's commission and a 10% seller's commission. That means the buyer has to pay 10. If it sells for 100 grand, that means the auction gets 20. That means the buyer's paying 110 because they got to pay the auction 10% more, and then the seller is paying 10% of what it sold for, so they're paying 10%. So the auction gets 20 grand out of a $100,000 sale. So that makes me a little nervous. Barrett doesn't let you put a reserve on a car that's under $150,000, and I don't want to go put a $150,000 valuation on this and then just like remove the reserve. I know that's one of the tricks that people do, but I'm not really down with that. That's about it. Anyway, so good time to buy cars if you're looking. And who knows, maybe I'm shopping. I got a 458 Spider in mind, but I'll get to that in another video. Thank you guys for watching. As I said, the bubble's gonna pop, and finally we're seeing that. The market is not going up. It hasn't been going up for a long time, and what happens is it starts coming down, and now is a good time to buy because you're buying the cars that people bought, they stared at, and now they're ready to get rid of. Catch you next time.